The Tesla Cybertruck, over 2.5 million reservations, 500 miles of range starting at $40,000. And best of all, the most hated car in the world.
Car makes your penis look so small.
Made out of plastic.
The worst car in America.
What happened, baby? I purchased my 2024 Tesla Cybertruck a year ago for 102. Well, like actually maybe 112 after all the fees, taxes, and registration. Since then, I've had countless service visits, recalls, and it got so bad, Tesla is actually gonna buy the Cybertruck back. Yes, they're buying it back for me. And I'll talk all about it later. But first, am I the only one with all these issues? So I decided to go to a Tesla Club event to find out. How many months have you had your Cybertruck?
Coming up to 1 year now.
A year and a half at this point.
About a year now.
First one or second one?
Since you had your Cybertruck, any new issues pop up?
The rear motor got disabled in traffic. It was stuck in the road, and then it was at night, and no one could see it in the road because the lights stopped working. There's no hazard lights or anything. It was dead.
3 critical issues that I had.
The rear motor, the front motor, creaking inside, driver's seat got replaced. You know, all the recalls that happened, 20 recalls.
Inverter completely replaced, both on the front and the rear.
Rear wheel steering, it was going a little bit too outside its parameter. They changed it through software, and it was all good.
I haven't had any issues.
So much utility, so much space in the Tesla Cybertruck. You can go off-roading, but is it actually a flop? Now, the Tesla Cybertruck had over 2.5 million reservations, and apparently only 2.5% of them actually got the truck. And if you think about it, that is actually a lot of sales in a year because, for instance, the GMC Sierra EV Denali only sold 1,700 units in a year. And for instance, Rivian sold like 51,000, almost 52,000 units, but that includes the R1S and the R1T. So in that aspect, the Tesla Cybertruck is a huge win for Tesla. Now, this isn't a cyber hate video, don't get me wrong. I'm actually gonna be talking about what I'm gonna miss about it and if I'm gonna get another one. Stupid. Someone just hated on the Cybertruck. It's the most hated car. He just said stupid. So yeah. Just me being here in Orange County and there's Cybertrucks, Teslas everywhere, but you'll still get people who like hate on the Cybertruck or say like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. It definitely happens.
There's been times where people have like pulled up next to me, flicked me off, stay positive and just be like, you know, you have haters out there.
I get flipped off a couple times. But yeah, I had one lady chase me down honking, and I didn't realize what was going on, and she pulled beside me with both birds going, and I just went to her and said, thank you.
And that's another reason why I think, especially if you're a female, like my wife, she thinks the Cybertruck's great, she loves it, but she doesn't like driving it outside of our home area because she's just scared she's gonna get assaulted or something. I mean, can you blame her? She's like a small little Asian chick. So the Tesla Cybertruck is the only electric vehicle that allows you to wade in water. They have something called wade mode. Raises ride height, pressurizes the battery pack, 2 feet and 7 inches. And what's super unique about the Tesla Cybertruck is this one feature that is the only car in the Tesla fleet. Actually, I feel like it's the only car in the world, aside from police vehicles, with this super cool Cybertruck themed horn. It's the only Tesla that gives you the ability to use the batteries to power your house. And even though it looks like a big truck, it doesn't feel like you're in a big truck. It feels like you're just in an SUV. Because of the steer-by-wire, the independent rear steering, you can just do this. That's a U-turn right there. Look at that. So easy to drive. But here's where expectation didn't meet reality. Because first, we didn't get the advertised range the Tesla Cybertruck said we would get. So they were like, okay, we'll offer a range extender and it takes like half of your truck bed, it weighs a ton, and it costs $16,000. But Tesla realized it made no sense, so recently they actually canceled the range extender completely, refunded my money. So we're not gonna be getting even close to the estimated miles that they claimed before. Now, next up is PowerShare. If you plug in your wall connector to the Tesla Powerwall, get it all installed, you can actually use the Tesla Cybertruck to power your house. And it worked for me for the first day of installing it, but the next day Tesla took back the firmware because they said it's not ready or compatible with Tesla Solar. And it took like a solid 7 months for me to actually finally get the Tesla PowerShare. So it was just like another empty promise, I feel like. And you think because this is the Tesla Cybertruck, it has the latest and greatest software and everything. The headlights are all the way down here. I'm already outdated because there's a new update with the Matrix style headlights that have adaptive high beams, so the high beams can stay on and not blind people. These don't have Matrix headlights because according to them, the housing was too small to fit matrix bulbs in. And yeah, the panels on the Cybertruck are stainless steel. However, it does scratch pretty easily. What's worse though is the plastic trim is very, very soft, and especially if you're gonna be using the truck for off-roading, this scratches so easily everywhere. You can look at my front, it's all damaged from scratches. All the other EV car brands, they line the cargo area at least with like a texture rubber grip to make it more scratch resistant. However, with the Tesla Cybertruck, they didn't do that. So not as durable as they say. But I know some Cybertruck owners added their own scratch resistant material themselves, so it's an easy fix. Also, full self-driving didn't come for a long time. It took months. So while I'm glad we finally do have full self-driving on the Tesla Cybertruck, because that's kind of like the whole reason most of us get Teslas for full self-driving, it's on a completely different firmware, and it doesn't have any sort of AS or actually smart summon or regular summon, none of those features. But one thing Tesla's great at is software updates. So who knows, maybe the Cybertruck will get it in the future. And this next feature, I have to show it to you. Come on over here. This is the Tesla Cybertruck rear view mirror. See, there's dirt piling up on here. Most electric vehicle trucks, because you have like a cover and you can't see, you have a digital rear view mirror. And a lot of times they'll put the rear view mirror at the top nice and high so it doesn't get damaged, it can't get too dirty. With the Tesla Cybertruck, it's all the way over here. So when it's raining or wet, all the water drips down or splashes on. You don't even have the highest quality camera either. So when you're driving, the rear view mirror camera isn't that clear. Now, a lot of people are saying just keep the tonneau cover open. The problem is it decreases your range like crazy. With the truck that already has so little miles, you want to try to be as efficient as possible, right? Which is why everyone always closes the tonneau cover. And when you do that, your physical rear view mirror is useless because this is on here. Not to mention, if you're using the truck to actually do truck stuff and you're hauling something longer, oh, where's your rear view mirror at? Facing the ground. Useless. Because you have the rear view mirror here, you also have the side repeater cameras. So when you use the turn signal, it's replaced by the rear view mirror. So you can't see the rear view mirror and the side repeater cameras at the same time. The Cybertruck has a Cyber Tent mode, which is super cool. If you're on an uneven surface, it'll level the truck out. But unlike other Teslas where you can keep the heater or AC on and sleep comfortably, you can't do that with the Cybertruck. Unfortunately, there's no midgate. So this whole piece here is stuck. You cannot move it out. If you have something longer, you can bring these seats down with like the Silverado EVs, the GMC Denali EVs, you can do that. But with the Tesla Cybertruck, you can't do that. And I'm not sure if it's just my truck, but I charge so much slower than all the other Teslas out there. Like I go to this supercharger, I charge up, and people come and go multiple times.
So many cars have come and gone and I'm still charging.
So I'm like, why is my Cybertruck charging and taking so long to charge compared to my Tesla Model Y? But my Cybertruck has been in service so many times, I became like best friends with the Tesla advisor. However, these issues alone weren't the only reasons why Tesla decided to buy back the car. I didn't even know you could do that. Because I know there's something called like the lemon law. It applies in various state to state. It has to be in service for 30 days, or it has to be same issue that can't be fixed 3 times. I wasn't sure what to expect with Tesla's buyback process. So I thought, hey, I might as well just ask the Tesla advisor. I've had my Cybertruck for a year. I've had countless issues. Is there something that can be done? And I learned I'm not the only one.
I think I know more than like 17 Cybertruck owners that have either done it, considered it, or like have finalized the process and everything.
I would not give it to buyback.
I don't think I would want to.
I went to trade mine in, and they said they weren't trading me yet. So I went to service, said, oh, I want a buyback. Oh, you want a service buyback? Perfect. Put your name down here. Days later, they said, surrender your truck, and 3 days later, I got a check.
I'm in talks with Tesla right now, actually, about that to see what they're going to come up with. But, you know, hey, I'll get another one.
Maybe if it goes through, I'm just gonna get another Cybertruck at the end of it.
And while I am happy I am gonna get my Cybertruck cost back, I didn't realize the unexpected costs of owning a Tesla Cybertruck. For instance, DMV registration also costs more than the Tesla Cybertruck because it's considered a commercial vehicle and it's a pickup truck. Insurance is also very expensive for the Tesla Cybertruck. I mean, when I first got it, my first year, $2,796. My second year, guess how much my Tesla Cybertruck insurance is? State Farm insurance, $3,600. and I hardly even drove the car. But on the plus side, because it has a gross vehicle weighting of above 6,500 pounds, you could do that Section 179 business depreciation thing, talk to your CPA, but it does qualify. So I want to talk about all the issues I've had with my Tesla Cybertruck so far, and there are a lot of them. So I got my Cybertruck a year ago. I logged in around 9,500 miles with the VIN ranging in the 1900s. And everything done was done for free, covered under Tesla's warranty. All I lost was pretty much time. But first, let's talk about the wiper blade. While it looks cool, it doesn't work cool. At one point I was using it, the wiper blade literally flew off, and I was told it was due to some bolts that were stripped. This thing squeaks like it seems like somebody's dying, and it's so embarrassing using it when it's raining because it squeaks so much. While this does look super cool, it's definitely a gimmick. There's a reason why wiper blades sit down. So when I use a wiper blade when it's raining, the water ends up coming upwards like this onto my Cybertruck windshield. They do have a feature where it stays in a downward fashion for a couple minutes to try to divert as much water as possible, but it doesn't work so well. The Cybertruck windshield's super cool. There is a film in between the glass for heat rejection, I'm assuming. And for mine, it had a defect in it. It was like warping and all that stuff. So they had to replace the whole thing. Fourth, when I opened my frunk, there's these hinges here. It would push on these seals and this would actually pop out. But you can see how close it is to the seal here. So they had to replace the whole thing. There's also a bolt inside of here. With time, with vibrations, a lot of the bolts would become super loose, and this one actually fell off. The bolt came off because it wasn't held with the Loctite, that blue glue that prevents it from de-threading. So this whole piece actually flew off on the freeway. Also the cant rail piece, since it's one piece, the alignment has to be perfect. Mine was not aligned properly when I got the car, so they had to remove it, realign it better so it fit better. Moving on to the back, there's this rubber seal in between each of the tonneau cover slats. And after some time, it was coming undone, so we had to get the whole thing replaced. The tailgate wouldn't close properly, so they were debating whether to take it to a body shop to fix it, but I said, forget it, don't even worry about it. When the water flows down the tonneau cover, you can see how the seals work great on one side, but on the other side, because the tailgate isn't aligned properly, the water just goes straight down and straight through. I tried calibrating it and it still doesn't work too well. And that's just on the outside. Now again, these are just my issues. I know so many people who don't have nearly as many issues as I do. When I closed the door on the Tesla Cybertruck when I first got it, you could hear like a rattling sound in the passenger side. And they said it was due to like a regulator being loose, so they had to reattach it and reseat it, and it worked fine. However, now I have a new issue with the rear door. When you open and close it, it makes another slightly less annoying rattling sound. And I looked on the forums and they said it's due to like the glue becoming undone. Like, you hear that? Not good. Another problem I had was my emergency latch broke. So they had to reattach it, they had to fix that. RGB lighting is starting to crack. Like, you can see it, all these like micro cracks here. Doesn't look very premium. Also, a lot of the trim pieces were coming down. I actually have double-sided tape in here. So I try to fix things as much as I can by myself. So I mounted it with double-sided tape, make sure the clips were secure. The centered panel here, it's kind of funny actually. I don't know if it's because the magnets are too strong. First off, this piece came off, but this clip, it just falls right off so easily. So while it is super cool, I mean, I love the design, I love the windshield visors, there's lots of parts of it that just feel very, I wouldn't say cheaply made, but not a lot of thought went into it. I get why they do it. Clips are great because clips make repairing easier. However, the issue you have with that is if it's not installed properly, it's just gonna sit horribly and not work well. My climate control broke. So I didn't have heat or AC, so they had to replace the whole thing. After time, the seats start pushing into the center console. So my seat squeaks so bad. It's the most annoying thing, and probably the most annoying thing about the Tesla Cybertruck, in my opinion, because I hate squeaking. I tried so many ways to fix it, but this thing squeaks so bad. But those were the major issues I had with the Tesla Cybertruck. Next, let's talk about the recalls. They had to replace the wiper blade motor and fix it. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because of me. Apparently there's another issue with the glue for the cant rail. The whole cant rail piece would fly off. So they were replacing the cant rails under recall. I feel like the Cybertruck has a glue problem. This whole plastic piece had to be replaced. This was flying off on the highway as well, so they had to replace this entire thing. Coming up to the top, they had to add another slat here because the water would keep coming into the truck bed to prevent the water from getting in. Now, another issue, another glue issue. They had to add a rivet to the accelerator pedal down here, because some of the Cybertrucks, whole piece would fall off because it was held in with glue. They also replaced my motor inverters because a lot of the Cybertrucks had failed motors due to the inverter. So they replaced mine. I didn't have that issue yet, but when I was supercharging, I got a front motor disabled many times. They did say it was due to a firmware issue, but that was one of the biggest reasons I was like, man, I don't know if I could keep this truck any longer, because what happens if I have more miles and I'm on a road trip and my motors just die? But were those issues enough for me to have Tesla buy back my Cybertruck? Who knows? I'm assuming it's from corporate and they have a set of standards on the buyback process. Honestly, I have no idea. Asked my Tesla advisor if he could look into the buyback. He said he'll fill out some forms. I heard back from him a few weeks later that said Tesla approved the buyback process. I had to send him my registration info and any remainder payments I had. I got an email stating the price and what I would get back. So I am gonna get everything I purchased back, minus a mild deduction, which is great. I also asked him if I have to bring the Tesla back to him the way I got it, and he said yes, which is why you'll see this is not how my Cybertruck looks, okay? It looked much cooler, but I tried to remove some of my paint protection film myself. I really wanted to like the Tesla Cybertruck. I mean, it's so cool. It's super fun to drive. It can do so much. This thing is awesome. I know so many people who don't have any issues with their Cybertruck and they love it. But if you have as many issues as me and you are in service as often as me, you'd be a little annoyed. And if you hate the car so much, just test drive it first.